Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to take a moment and talk a little bit about how do you how people tune into stuff. Yeah, here I go. Yeah. We tune into stuff we tune into things when we know that what they're telling us are lies. We know that what they're talking about are lies because there's proven time and time again when they show it, they're fabricating the narrative. And remember in my other video I talked about how people get information into your mind. Information, you absorb information and then you make sense of that information. On a subconscious level, that means the part of you that makes decisions when you are not mindful. The part of you that makes decisions when you are not mindful and in the moment or paying attention to what you're doing. You've heard me say it many times. It's like you can be in the car talking to someone and driving and doing whatever you're doing and not paying attention to whether or not you're turning right, left, or whatever. You're just talking, and before you know it, you're home. Well, your automatic that sensing thing kicks in when you're not paying attention, and it takes over and it takes control and it gets you home. Whereas if you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, you have to be mindful about where you're going and whether or not to turn right or left in order to make it to your destination. Well, in this case, when you listen to information that you know is not true, and you find that they're everywhere you look, they're pushing the same narrative. That's so that it can get into that space that then begins to control you when you're not paying attention. It's like your heart rate or your heartbeat or your sweat or something, that automatic thing that goes on with your body. You don't have to think about making your heart beat, it just beats, right? Well, it's the same thing with narratives that sink into that sacred space. They begin to run things automatically. So when you sit and listen to something that is not truthful, well, there's the spiritual side of this where it's all, but I'll go into that again. I have videos on that, but I'll go into that another. Let me just stay focused on this. When you listen to something that is like, lie to me, baby, lie to me, just tell me anything and I'll sit and listen and accept it as true. Just tell me anything. I just need something to do and I just need something to listen to. So just talk to me. It doesn't matter what you say to me. It doesn't matter what you do. Just tell me anything. That's how we sit and absorb some of the mess. And we know that they're being dishonest and they're not. They're wanting to get hold of the mind, get that information in, so that we would respond and react accordingly. So I said all of that to say this. Whenever I was talking to someone the other day, I don't watch TV. I don't indulge in news. I do go on YouTube and find and see things that just mess with me a little bit, and then I get on here and have a tangent about it. But what I'm saying is that The narratives that they're pushing now are all about issues in certain communities, painting the image and creating a narrative that a certain type of people are problematic. A certain type of people are the thieves and the killers and the rapists and the so on and so forth. When you only have to look in history, the true history, and know the true nature of certain type of people. It's not everyone that goes around just killing animals for sport. It's not everyone that goes around digging up the earth to see how wealthy they can get when they have plenty to live on for generations, to hand down to their children. It's not everyone that's going into everyone's country, taking everything they can get their hands on and exploiting the women and the children and the men in that country. It's not the people that they're projecting on their platforms and news stations as the people who are problematic, that are doing the worst possible things. There's a certain kind of people that do the things that I mentioned earlier. And if that nature is with that particular type, then you know they're turning it upside down to make it seem like the most compassionate and loving people are doing the things that they so readily and easily do. So, a quick word about this. I know I'm hinting and doing all kinds of things to do this message because I do want to share it, and I hope that with the content, I hope that you can make sense of this message, because I know I've kind of chopped it up and left things out and tried to go a roundabout way to explain this. I'm going to have to do better at this, because they're shutting down stuff. So I'm just here to say, if you're going to watch something that you know is not truthful, know that you are programming yourself, that stuff eventually seeps in, and it does order your steps. It also gives you a narrative of a people that is just not true. It's just not true. And this narrative is painted throughout the world. Throughout the world. People have a misunderstanding of African American people. They don't know that we're the first to stand up for everyone. We're the first to give you whatever it is. We're the first to care for you and forgive you and love you in spite of all of the madness that you do to us. We still stand in solidarity with so many people. But the time now has to shift. We have to do better for ourselves. We have to do better for ourselves. You have people all over the planet thinking that melanated people are the worst things that hit planet Earth, when melanated people are the original people on this earth. So, much love, much love. Choice here, thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste.